Alright, what's going on? Listen, YouTube, thank you for coming to my channel. My name is Wally. Listen, today I got something different. I went a little bit left with it. I know a lot of y'all know about Matt Walsh. Listen, he's about to debate a trans mother, alright, on womanhood, alright? Let's go. Let's see how this is gonna go right here.
Hi, Matt. I'm transgender. I'm born and raised here in New Mexico. I have a graduate degree in information technology, marketing, business, and finance. I own my own home. I pay taxes. I have a six-figure job. I'm a respected professional in Albuquerque. I'm a mother. My life experience is that
You know why I paused it? As we watching this together, pay attention to the people behind this person right here. Check it out.
I'm an awesome person.
Look at their faces.
I am well liked. I'm responsible, and I think I'm pretty cool. You touched on something. You said something earlier that for you, when somebody calls you a man, it doesn't faze you because, like, you just know that you're a man.
Shut up! What the hell you talking about? I'm a boy!
That
Listen, I know I'm a man. I was born a man. I got something here to prove that I'm a man. I am a man.
was interesting to me because I feel the same way about my identity as a woman. My question leading up to this, you've asserted that no one would ever see me as a woman, that nobody would ever see or could see a transgender person as a woman, and yet I have dozens of friends from diverse backgrounds, women from the reservation, a woman from Japan, several immigrant women. I have my coworkers, I have my boss, my VP, my CEO, all respecting me as a woman, my family, my long-term friends who are actually here with me. All of these people assure me, like, I'm a woman. They'll tell me, girl, like, there is no way you are a man. They see me as a woman.
I tell you, she look like a man.
So the question,
Okay.
how can you assert that nobody would ever see me as a woman when my material experience tells me you're wrong?
I mean, listen, if I was to show this person to, let's say, all right, if I show this trans mother to a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old, they're gonna say, I see a man. And I am not bashing, I am not throwing anything negative towards any trans people. I am just stating the facts of what my eyes can see. You understand what I mean? All right, let's check this out.
Okay. It's interesting that that's the part of my talk you chose to ask a question about, because that's not in my talk at all. I don't believe I said that no one would ever see you as a woman. I mean, it's possible, I suppose, that you could fool someone. Now, you brought this up, so I have to tell you that you brought this up. You've put your identity on the table for.
I tell you, she look like a man.
Conversation. And so I'm going to say you wouldn't fool me at all. I mean,
Look, he can't even help but to, or should I say, this trans mother can't even help to even stand with the posture of a man. It's hard to shake that off because that's what you are.
I see a man 100%. And I think that most people would. Now, the fact that you have people in your life who are saying to you, oh, you're totally a woman, it's exactly what I'm talking about. No one in my life has ever once said to me, you're totally a man, Matt. You know, if a friend of mine called me on the phone and said, listen, Matt, I want you to know you're really a man.
I don't know. He just simplified it. I don't know how else we could put it to you. This makes too much sense. Listen to it.
My life has ever once said to me, You're totally a man, Matt. You know, if a friend of mine called me on the phone and said, listen, Matt, I want you to know you're really a man, I would think that there was something wrong with him. I would say, why are you saying that at all? It doesn't make any sense. So the fact that this is a conversation to begin with tells me, it only proves the point that I'm trying to make, that your identity, even in your own mind, is up for, is something that you need to be assured of.
Word. I don't ever need to be assured that I'm a man. I know I'm a man. I wake up like a man. I walk the streets like a man. I come back home like a man. I go to sleep like a man. And the next day, the same thing like a man. You know what I mean? Just like a man.
Now, what I would like to ask you, again, because you're standing here, and so you've brought your identity and on the table for discussion. So how do you know that you're a woman?
It was first when I heard transgender persons describe their experience in their own words.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And this was only about 2 years ago. Hearing somebody describe things, it was a woman from like England, describing her experience, her childhood, her teenage years. And it blew my mind to be listening to her, because it was just some podcast that I was listening to while I was like doing laundry. But it blew my mind to hear somebody so eloquently and precisely describe things that I had experiences
What
that
was
I
the
had
description?
experienced.
What did they say?
Okay, so
Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
I am honestly hesitant. I know that you touched earlier about the difficulty that
I mean, he just asked him a question and this person just went left with it. Like, you see what people do? You ask them a question and they start talking with a question. Ridiculous. Now they asking the question.
I am honestly hesitant. I know that you touched earlier about the difficulty that transgender women might have in describing their identity, but I want to state, I honestly don't feel that you would engage in this conversation in good faith.
Then why are you
And
here?
so-
Why did you stand up to talk to me if you don't want to have a conversation? You're saying that you discovered that you're a woman. I'm asking you how you did. That's a very fair question.
Okay.
How do you know that you're a woman?
That's fine. All right. So first of all, listening to transgender people, and it was like, okay, this is a one-off, one person describing these things. Things like looking at yourself in the mirror and not.
He asked him, how do you know if you're a woman? And this person just keeps saying, I heard a story of a transgender explaining their upbringing. Again, not listening, not paying attention, answering incorrectly.
First of all, listening to transgender people, and it was like, okay, this is a one-off, one person describing these things. Things like looking at yourself in the mirror and not recognizing yourself. Hearing compliments like, you are such an example, like a positive masculine role model, and just hearing that and being like, it feels like they're talking about somebody else. It means feeling alone, even when you're surrounded by guys, even when you have a lot of friends, and I was active in like Boy Scouts, I'm an Eagle Scout. I had great masculine role models my whole life, and yet I never felt like I belonged. I felt welcome and
But
included.
why does that make you a woman?
Because
As opposed to just a man who doesn't get along with some other men, or a man who's depressed, or a man who doesn't feel at home totally in his body, which, by the way, is a pretty universal human experience. Everybody goes through it at one time or another. So in what way does that make you a woman, though? And it's interesting you're telling me that you listen to the experiences of other transgender people.
Well, yeah.
But what about women?
So
Because trans women are women, you would say, right?
I would say that, yes.
Exactly the same?
Yes.
Okay, well then why do you need to hear the testimony of quote unquote trans women? Like how you pick any actual woman in this room? In what way do you know that you belong in the same category as them?
I tell you, she look like a man.
I know because they tell me. So here was the.
You need them to tell you what you are?
So basically, if someone tell me I'm Spider-Man, then I'm Spider-Man then, right? I don't get this.
Women Yes, I trust the opinions of the women around
And
me.
if most
it's
women-
incredible. You might try it sometime.
If most women voted and said they don't see you as a woman, would you say I'm not a woman anymore?
If who?
If most women voted and said they don't see you as a woman anymore, would you then relent and say I'm not a woman?
I would say most people on the planet have no idea who I am. I'm going to trust the opinions of the people who've spent their lives with me.
But you are relying on other people to tell you who you are, is what we're establishing.
For context, I know you like to think, I know you like to say, everybody's rah-rahing and supporting transgender people, and yet they're still killing themselves, etc. But I'm standing here in a room full of people applauding you and asking questions like, how can I put out legislation here in New Mexico, you know, my home state I grew up in, to try to reverse transgenderism? I'm not safe. And it
How are you not
wasn't-
safe?
They just dancing around the whole question. Again, what makes you a woman? Right?
You just said you're standing in a room with people who disagree with you and you're perfectly fine. So how are you not safe? Okay, look, we're going round and round.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You don't want to answer any of the questions. Maybe we'll end with this because we're talking about womanhood. So people can probably shout out the question I'm going to ask you right now.
Okay,
But you know that you're a woman.
yes.
What is that?
Got him! Got him!
So gender is a social thing? It only
I don't want
makes
to hear
sense
that. What
in
is a
so-
woman? What is a woman?
What is a woman?
Word woman, define in the dictionary. Go.
A woman is somebody who is included and respected and seen and participates in society, recognized by other women. If you speak with women,
Circular definition.
that's mine, whatever.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
To me, this person sounds delusional and confused. I mean, if you're gonna stand on something, you better know what you're standing on. And if you don't and you sound unsure, then I'm sorry, you better fall back and retract. This person is crazy. If you agree, leave a comment. Even if you disagree, leave a comment. More than welcome, all right? I'll see you on the next one. This one was crazy right here. I can't believe what I just saw right now. I know you can't believe what you just saw. He kept asking him a question, and unfortunately, we never got an answer, or the right answer, or the answer, or any answer. Just kept dancing around without music. Just violin, singing the same old song. All right, see you in the next one. Thank you.